with second-year man Trey Lance, who they moved up to take number 3 overall in last year's draft. So I want to talk about this situation with Jeff Darlington and Mike Tannenbaum. Mike, put yourself in the shoes of 49ers GM John Lynch. Is he doing the right thing here if he moves on from Garoppolo?
No, and no. Why are we complicating this? As Hembo reminded us today, all Jimmy Garoppolo's done has won 70% of the games he started, and on the offense, they averaged 28 points a game. This team has a great chance to win the Super Bowl right now. They were in the Super Bowl 3 years ago, championship game last year. I love Trey Lance. I think he has a chance to be really good for the next 5 or 10 years, but right now, all he is a massive question mark. Why not, at the most important position, quarterback, operate from a position of strength and depth and keep Jimmy Garoppolo for this season, knowing that through 17 games, he may get nicked up. Trey Lance, we don't know about his durability. There's no chance I'm trading him if I'm the 49ers.
Sure. I mean, that sounds very logical, of course, Jeff, but I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is very expensive. What are the 49ers going to do? Are they thinking about keeping him?
I love that Tannenbaum has been dying on this hill this offseason. And I think you make some really good points about it. The only thing I'd say is that Kyle Shanahan feels very differently about that. He believes that he could win, you see that 70% stat, that he could win 71% of his games with a different quarterback. And Jimmy G wants nothing to do with this situation again in San Francisco. He dreaded it. He did not, I shouldn't say that. He enjoyed the locker room, but he did not enjoy the experience of essentially losing his job to the rookie and then being put in to save the day. He doesn't want to do that again. Ultimately, Jimmy Garoppolo will be traded from the San Francisco 49ers, and I believe it will happen before week 1 of this upcoming season.
So what's the market like? We already saw Carolina went ahead and got Baker Mayfield. I assume that takes them out of it if they were ever in it. Right now, where are the spots for him? Jeff?
You know, Dan, I've never sensed that Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo were vying for the same jobs. Baker, I expected to kind of enter into a training camp competition. Jimmy G, for whatever reason, I think is going to wind up being one of these training camp situations where a team suffers an injury, doesn't have exactly what they thought they had. Whatever the case, they could wind up saying, you know what, Jimmy G is a perfect a quarterback for this situation. And ultimately, Jimmy has not been able to throw this offseason because of his shoulder surgery that he endured. That will happen very soon. And once he proves that he can throw the football, a very important part of the position, I think he'll find himself a landing spot.
That's a good breakdown of quarterback play there by Jeff Darlington. Mike, do you have a spot in mind for Jimmy if they do ignore your advice and decide to trade him?
Yeah, let's put a ribbon on this conversation this morning. Cleveland Browns. Let's assume that Deshaun Watson's going to have a significant suspension. Jacoby Brissett, obviously, he's been a competent starter. They're going to need a lot more than that with that roster to get to where they want to go in terms of they have a chance they can win right now. So why not fortify Jacoby Brissett with competition and depth in Jimmy Garoppolo? So to me, this sort of comes full circle. If they're going to move him, which I believe wouldn't be a good idea, I would certainly say Cleveland goes to the top of the list for now. Because again, guys, it's a 17-game season. We know the NFC North is a tough division. If Deshaun Watson misses meaningful or all the season, it's hard to think they want to take that roster that they have just with Jacoby Brissett into the season.
Interesting idea. The Browns, much like us, are waiting on a resolution of the Deshaun Watson situation, which should come hopefully later this month. Go back to baseball now.
Young guys out.
All right, Jeff, I didn't expect, to hear the sky is falling, right, from Aaron Rodgers in July. But you made an interesting point in the meeting today about why things feel a little different right now in Green Bay than they have in the past couple of years.
Well, I just sense, Dan, talking to people within the Packers organization, that there is this sense of calm over Green Bay in general. And look, whoever you want to blame for past drama, whether it's Aaron Rodgers or the organization, it doesn't exist right now. And this should allow Aaron Rodgers to be a leader of the organization as opposed to sort of being this almost galvanizing force within himself of a guy like, say, rally around me and I'll take you to the promised land. Ultimately, it feels like this organization has a certain sense of synergy about it that it has not had in past years. And of course, I should put this disclaimer in there. The past 2 years, even with that drama, has led to Aaron Rodgers being a 2-time MVP. So it's not as if I'm saying that Aaron Rodgers has underperformed here. I'm just saying as a whole, as a team, and as a form of leadership, I think that this could set up better for Green Bay than it has for in years past.
That certainly makes sense. Obviously, the drama of the past couple off seasons kind of overwhelmed everything there. And you're right, he had success, but the team didn't go as far as it wanted. But Mike, to all those points that Jeff made, they're all good points, but they still don't have Davante Adams. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, right?
That's exactly right. They're going to struggle on offense, especially early. As Hembo has reminded us, the most receptions a rookie receiver's ever had is 38. Davante Adams is one of the best receivers in the NFL, if not the best one. You simply can't replace him with Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb, and Alan Lazard. So while I love Christian Watkins long-term, I really think they're going to struggle short-term, and it's going to be the defense that's going to have to carry them. So I have much more concerns than Jeff does because while it may be calm, I just don't think they're going to be as productive without Davante Adams.
Yeah, defense, they like their running backs, obviously. But, Sacho, do you share the same concerns Mike T has about the passing game?
I don't. Aaron Rodgers won MVPs before Davante Adams. He could win MVPs after Davante Adams. His second MVP was Davante Adams' rookie year, talking about rookie receiver, second-round pick. And so, yes, there is going to be a drop-off. Davante Adams is and has been for the last 5-6 years the best receiver in football. But we're talking about four-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about a really, really underrated or not talked about defense. And we're talking about a rookie receiver, Christian Watson, who we think could be good. And so I am concerned, yes, but I'm not as concerned as maybe Mike T might be, not only because of the guy who's playing quarterback number 12, but also the division they're playing in, right? The Bears are rebuilding. Vikings, we'll see what they can do this year. So I am not overly concerned about Aaron Rodgers.
Mike T, where do you put the Packers now among the NFC contenders?
Oh, clearly they're third. You have the Rams and the Buccaneers that are in a massive arms race. I think the Buccaneers got better because they got a better head coach in Todd Bowles over Bruce Arians. And I think the Packers are clearly third. And when you look at those first two teams, they're doing everything they can to win now. And I'm just hard-pressed to think that in 2022, without Davante Adams, this team's going to be better.
All right. Look, enough of this frivolous football stuff. I want to get into the real story around Aaron Rodgers today, and that is, meanwhile, on planet Earth. Look, guys, if I told you Aaron Rodgers got a tattoo, I bet you would say, well, I bet it's incredibly complicated and intricate and doesn't make a lot of sense to people, except he wants us to feel dumb. How did I do on my description here?
You hit the nail on the head.
We couldn't just get a
1 minute we're talking about retreats with... You know, Dan, 1 minute we're talking about retreats with Aaron Rodgers. Now we're at this tattoo. He takes us to places we never thought we'd go.
I mean, what are we
Dan, do you know that
here?
I actually have a tattoo as well? I walked into a tattoo parlor one year, probably about 15 years ago, and I asked for a dot, just one dot, right on my shoulder right here, which is probably much more explanatory of me, too. It's a good analogy. I'm a very simple man. Aaron Rodgers, quite different.
But quite different. That is
why? Why would you just get a dot? If that's going to get a tattoo, why a dot? Can we explain that, Jeff Darlington, please?
You'd have to ask the version of myself that walked into the tattoo parlor.